Welcome to Mobile Work Orders. Thanks everybody for joining. My name is Mike Pope and I'm the Director of Customer Success. So I provide trainings here at Accelerator. And today's agenda, we're going to go through Accord and mobile work orders. So that could be creating work orders on Accord or receiving work orders on Accord. And how the different flows happen with notifications and how work orders are routed, taking before and after pictures, completing your work orders, sending them over to the invoicing, as well as providing a proof of work link to your client so they can see that the work has properly been done. Before I go into Accord, I'm just going to cover a few things. One of those is how notifications works. So each service location has a site manager and a supervisor that's inside the service location. And that's for routing the work orders, as we see here. So if your client were to use the client portal and submit a service request, it's going to be auto-assigned to both the site manager and the supervisor that are in that location. If work orders created in the cloud, it could either be manually assigned by typing in an email address. If you don't do that, it will automatically go to that site manager and supervisor. And it's the same thing on the Accord app. When you create a work order in the field, it gives you the option to put an email address. If you leave it blank, it's going to go to the site manager and the supervisor. So it might be important to see those assignments on each location so you know who is the site manager that email will go to. So in the cloud, it's viewed on the main service location screen. So you have the site manager and supervisor listed. And when that work order is created, it's going to send out a notification by email. Right now, we don't have any notifications that show up on the phone, but we're working on that. So maybe you'll be alerted that on Accord, you have received a work order, but for right now, you're receiving an email. And inside that email is a work ticket PDF. So when you open up that PDF, it's just a basic description of what needs to be done and where. And when the work orders are created on the client portal, the information is input by the client. And then when they submit that, it's going to be routed to Accord, and it will translate whatever instructions they have into the language of the employee that's preferred. So if you wanted to receive instructions in Spanish, for example, or maybe Portuguese, then whatever the client types in will be translated on Accord into your preferred language. So if you have any questions, let me know, but I'm going to switch over to my phone, and I will show you what this all looks like in Accord. All right, so I'm going to open up my app. And when we first open the app, I'm not sure if everybody has the app on their phone. I think you all do. You should be familiar with this app, but I'll run through just the basics again. Is that when you start the app, it comes into my work assignments. So these are buildings where I have some outstanding work that needs to be done, some new work that needs to be done. So if I want to check to see what's going on at these buildings, I just tap on it and I can see, oh, at this building, I have 3 open work orders and I have 2 deficiencies. Let me go back and check this building. I have 2 work orders there. And if I check the other building, I maybe don't have any active work orders, but maybe I have that showed up, but I still have some work that needs to be finished there. So if I want to do something at a different building, I can click on the menu and I could use this find service location, and I can just type in a couple letters. I think it's you need to type in 3 letters, and then you'll start to get a list of different locations that you could choose. I'm going to change that, and I'm going to try to choose a different one. I type in the first couple letters and different buildings show up, and all I need to do is click on one of those and it'll take me into those buildings. If I go back to the menu and I click on dashboard, it's going to show me a list of all the open work orders I have, any new deficiencies that I have, and any new client notes that I have. I can also tap on work orders from here and just see a complete list of all the different work orders. Doesn't matter which building they're at. And I can enter the work orders through here. I can close the work orders by either going in them, or I can toggle on the close multiple work orders. And when I just tap on them, it will automatically close. So I just tap those and they go away. But in this case, I want to go back to my work assignments. I'm going to go into the north building, and I still have 1 open work order because I want to take pictures and I want to make notes that I can send over to the client. So when I go into the north building, I see, and I go into that work order, I see the same information that you normally see, some basic instructions, what needs to be done. And let's say that I see this work order and I want to take a before picture. So I click on pictures, and I can see that a before picture was already taken in here. So I can see what it looked like before. And if I switch over to the after picture, I can see there hasn't been an after picture taken yet. So somebody took a before picture so I could see that. So I say, okay, now I know what needs to be done. So I can go back, and now I can complete the work. And when I'm done with it, I just toggle on completed. I scroll down, I make any comments. Completed with no issues, let's say. I can capture a signature, and then I want to take an after picture. So I go into the pictures. I'm going to switch this over to after photo. I'll click take photo. Oh, I think I lost it because I bumped my cable and disconnected. I've already got a cord open. Sorry about that. And then I take a picture. Let me just go back in there and show you that work order. Let me take another photo. I think because I bumped it, it knocked it out. Let's try that again. So I take the picture. It loads that picture. I can toggle back to the before picture. Okay, it looks good. Let me go back and type in my comments. With no issues. I'm going to complete it again. We'll re-sign it. And when I'm done, I've completed my notes, I've taken my pictures, I can click submit. It tells me that it's successfully submitted, and I go back and I don't have any open work orders now. And when I go back, you'll see that the north building is now gone from my work assignments because I don't have any active work that needs to be done there. So I want to send that over to invoicing though. So I need to go back into that building, find that find the list of work orders and send those over to invoicing. So I needed to find the service location. I typed in north building, and then when I click on send to invoice, I'm going to get a complete list of all the different work orders that I have open. And since this is our demo, I have a lot of open work orders. So I can either click into that work order and I can click send to invoice, or I can toggle on send multiple work orders to invoice, and then I can just start clicking those work orders to send those to the invoicing module. And so when I do that because I've completed the work order, they're billable, and I want to send that over to our accounting team, obviously, so then they can go out and bill the client. If I don't send them over, possibly the invoicing team won't see those, won't know those. So I just keep clicking to complete work orders. And from here, I can also create a new work order. By tapping on new work order, I can choose the date of when the work's going to be completed. We'll say we're going to start on the 18th. I think it's going to take 2 days. I can choose a work order type, make any comments, enter the floor and the space or estimated hours if those are specific. And I mentioned in the beginning for the assignments that if I type an email address in here, it will send it to a particular person. If I leave it blank, it's going to default it to the manager and the supervisor. If I click on pictures, here's where I can take my before photo. And that way, as you saw before, when somebody comes into this work order, they could see a before photo. And I close that and I submit that.
Level off, yeah.
The work order's been submitted. And then now you see that I have one open work order because I was the person assigned. Now I have one open work order in this north building. I can see those special instructions. And when I go in and check those pictures, there's the before picture. Okay, so that's it for the Accord. If nobody has any questions, I'm going to go into the cloud and also go into my email to show you how all the routing happened and then what happens with the link. So let me exit out of here. So as we discussed earlier, when I created that new work order, I got a work ticket. Let me just double check to make sure, yeah, you're able to see this. And when I open up that work ticket, this is what it looks like. It's opening slowly. So we will probably be improving the looks of the work tickets in the future as well. But for now, this is the information that's on there. This is what it looks like. So I'll bring a lift is there. And when you complete that work order, actually, let me go into our work order list on the cloud. So I switched over to the cloud, go into our work order list. And I can see that here was that new work order that was created. Work order 2968 that I just now created mobile. When I go in to view that, I can see that description down there. And there are some newer tabs here called Pictures and Send Notification. These are for the proof of work. And we're probably going to change these to maybe Gallery and then Send Proof of Work. But for now, it's Pictures. So if you click on Pictures, it's going to open up a gallery and you see here's that before picture that I took. The work isn't completed yet, so we don't have a completed photo. And here, completed by is empty. And if I go back into my work order list, I'm going to go into one that I did yesterday. So I know it's completed. 2960. I can click in there and I can see the pictures. I'll try to make it a little bit more interesting. Star Wars Christmas lights. But these were the before pictures. And you can see that there are multiple pictures. So I can just flip between the pictures and check those out. And I can also check out the after photos. And that this now is completed and who completed it. And when I want to send this over to the client, I just click Send Notification, Send Proof of the Gallery, and it's going to send it over to this contact name. And then now you see that I got a link. So now this is what your customer would see. So they're going to get a link. It says the work order was completed. Here's your notes and description. And when I click on View Gallery, it opens up the gallery. And so the client can see that. And so the purpose of this was that you have proof of work that you can send your client. So it happens sometimes where the clients, they maybe are questioning whether the work was done or was the work done properly. So this is just giving you another tool that should hopefully make it easier for us to collect on those invoices. So if there's any sort of disputes, now we have one more tool where we've made the comments about the pictures and we've taken the pictures and we've shared the pictures. So hopefully that's going to make invoicing a little bit easier, as well as then you can actually send the invoices on your phone as well.